That's where the internet's at. Okay.
They're inside that little black box.
Yeah. Say hello, internet.
Hello.
I'm Dr. Paul.
I'm Diet Dr. Paul.
And who are you? You're new. What's your name?
I don't have no name.
His name's Salem.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Salem.
You knew there's going to be a test today, right?
Yes. I hope you studied hard.
Son of a bitch!
So, Wonderfest is over. It's time to go home. We've packed our bags pre-flight last night. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high. As a kite by then.
That's good. I like what you did there.
That's all I know.
Yeah. So this is our, fourth, I think,
Third year in a row.
Yes.
This is my first.
First year. You
First year.
You was going to say something inappropriate. It's your first year. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was real cool. I liked a lot of the models. A
Yes.
lot of them I don't think I could ever do.
Me either. It makes me want to paint the models.
Yeah.
Gives me false confidence.
It makes me want to go back home and start painting my minis again.
Mhm. Yes.
And
100%.
my favorite 100% was that Stegus. I can't remember the long neck dinosaur's name.
I know what you're talking about. I got a
Yeah.
video clip of
And
it. I'll
was-
put it on
and
screen.
It was just long trees right next to it, and it was so detailed and well done.
Yeah, I got a video clip. I'll put it on screen. That's a good one. I like that one. What
Yeah.
about you?
Well, we said this at dinner, that I think this year was sort of a downer for me. I think the quality of the number and quality of kits that were entered into the contest, I thought were not as great and glorious they were in the past. There's still some very talented kits. And I also thought the dealer's room was a little sparse this year. And I think part of the problem is obviously there are fewer and fewer companies that are manufacturing either plastic or resin or vinyl model kits. I mean, Blackheart Model is one of our favorite, and I know you've already highlighted some of their stuff. Yeah, I know that he's retiring, and what he means to the hobby. I don't know what the future is going to mean, but it's kind of going to be empty going to Wonderfest and not going to that back wall
Right.
where his stuff is at. And so there were others that I just felt like that the kits there were just fewer kits, and so maybe next year that there'll be a renaissance. And
Well, for me, it wasn't so much the number of kits. It was the genres of this. I go and I really liked the horror movie models and the sci-fi models and stuff. And I felt like there was a lot more like spaceship stuff, more like Gundam type things, and more miniatures. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Those are just not the ones that I look forward to. I like the monster movie models. They're my absolute favorite. That's where I beeline to right away. And while I thought there were some good ones, it was just a smaller area.
Yeah.
I noticed doing some pre-editing for the video that there's just not as much footage this year. And I made an extra pass through both rooms on the first day, which I normally don't do, just to try to make sure that I covered everything. And again, it wasn't that there was like bad stuff. It just seemed a little bit smaller, and maybe it was because there was so many more people here this time.
yeah, and Salem, I know you like comic books, and I was looking forward to you going because of all the comic book models, but I didn't see as many. Did you notice any that kind of?
A few, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was, like I said, it was just those first couple tables in the competition room. Normally there's like a lot more stuff in there that tailors to that type of thing.
I don't do models or anything.
Mhm.
And so when I came here, I had no clue about this, and I only just found out like yesterday after we went to the convention and we were already eating lunch and all that
Mhm.
from him that it was supposed to be sci-fi and horror. There's so many things there that weren't either of those things, and they were still cool things. They were still awesome, but I just had no clue.
It was unexpected.
Yeah.
For sure. I get what you're saying. That was my mindset.
I thought the classes this year were they normally do a Friday class, which I didn't get a chance to do that. They have two of them, and they only did one this year. They did one on Blender, but I thought that was really kind of I didn't get a chance to do that, but I did go to some other and learn some really amazing tools and techniques that I can't wait to go back home and do. It felt like there were more people that were there. We paid early to early bird
Mm-hmm.
tickets, and I swear there's like 100 people in the line for the early bird ticket just to be able to go in 2 hours
Yeah,
early.
we've never stood in line for the early bird entrance before, and I
Yeah.
got there and I'm like, is this the line for the models?
Yeah.
Because it started pretty much way back, but you had already snagged us the spot.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, adding insult to injury, and you guys don't know this, but last night I'm in bed. I'm thinking about going through the day. They overcharged me for our tickets. It's supposed to be $75 a person. They charged me $300. They charged me for 4 tickets, not 3. So if Wonderfest, my friends, are here,
You don't realize they've been charging you for your ego this whole time.
well, contact us, and a rebate would be really nice.
Instead of a rebate, you could just give us that $6,500 creature statue.
What do you talk about? What is that?
Well, they're just, and it was kind of sad because it was in place where one of the bigger dealers are in the room right when you walk in the door. What's the name of those?
I think it's Alternative Images, but I'm not sure.
But you got your Brides of Dracula models there the
Yeah.
year before last, and it's like huge, and they always have really good replica models there. But their whole table space was empty, and in its place was a disassembled life-size statue of the creature of the Black Lagoon for $6,500. At first, they had the way it written on the table. It was like they squeezed the 2 zeros together. So my brain said $650, and I started to reach for my wallet. And then I saw the other 0, and immediately my hand fell off. So, yeah, that was cool though.
They have a life-size creature that was there. We've had pictures last year
Mhm.
that's over in one of the dealers. I didn't see them
I didn't
there
see
this
it.
year.
They-
Yeah.
They also had a life-size droid from Star Wars. That was
Yes,
awesome.
yes. I'm like doing some filming, and he's like bumping me. I'm like, man, quit bumping me. And I look back over, and he's like, there's R2D2 literally standing behind me,
Yeah.
screaming at me.
Yeah. And then in the room where the competition was happening, there was a life-size droid just standing there in the corner.
Yes, I got a picture with that. Did
Yeah.
you see the stormtrooper that was
Yeah.
walking around?
Yeah.
I got him from. I was gonna say something inappropriate there. I got his picture from the back. Anyway.
You also one you really liked. I've never seen the movie The Thing, but you really liked that one
Yes.
model of it. It was like the size of someone's actual head, and it was trying to look for words to describe what it was.
Fans of the thing know it, and it was the first model that I put on the short video that I uploaded. It's
Yeah.
the face that's like melting in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Blackheart
It looks
model.
like 2 faces were like being fused together.
Mhm. That's such a dope model. I love that thing.
It was a cool model. I've never seen the movie, but that looks really awesome.
Would you like to have that on your desk at home?
Probably not. I would scream, especially because my desk is right next to where I sleep.
Waking up every morning.
Yeah, I wake up. See, my desk, the closest thing I have to a desk is like this half table,
Mhm.
and it's more like a nightstand. And so I wake up looking directly at it, and I already get scared whenever I see my lamp there.
Yeah.
If
I
your
wanna
if your
see-
lamp scares you, imagine what that thing's gonna do to you. He's gonna be catatonic after the first night. I'll take a lamp made out of it.
Cardiac arrest.
I'll tell you what you probably can tell just listening to this. One of the benefits of Wonderfest is it's very family friendly. And so I'm telling you, if you love horror movies, if you love sci-fi, if you love model building, if you're like me, a boomer growing up and making a lot of models, I still build models. I think I'm good. I don't think I'm anywhere near what they are at Wonderfest. They have 1,000 people that will enter model kits into this contest, and they get rated, and some of them get photographed for Final Scale Modeler magazine. It really is. If any of that applies to you, if you're into models or used to be in models or sci-fi horror, go to Wonderfest. It's truly a family-friendly event. There's tons of stuff to do in the Louisville area, and you will have fun as a family. It really is. I saw more kids there this year than I've seen any year before, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I do feel. I just think there was more people in general, but there were a larger contingent of kids, but not in like a negative way. Sometimes I think when you get a lot of kids, it can get rambunctious. It was still, you have to have some sort of manners at this thing because there's too much breakable.
Well, I mean, who likes kids?
The people who brought them. The people who brought
Good rationalization, kid. That's not even your leg.
He just had the pillow next to me.
Oh, what else? Anything else that we want to say about this wonderful event?
We finally got to go back to get our Middle Eastern on.
Yes.
That was
Kebab,
delicious.
Kebab house.
You had your first lamb. How was it?
It was amazing.
Great.
He went to Frisch's Big Boy. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, home of the Big Boy, and you had your first Big Boy. How did you describe your Big Boy?
Bacon.
It was gone in 3 seconds.
I swear, really. I
It was
looked at
not.
it. It was on his plate, and he picked it up and took a bite. And I turned around, and it was gone.
Yeah.
I still think it's in your
sat-
pocket.
I sat there for 5 minutes eating it, and Grandpa's like, I turned away for 2 seconds and it's gone.
You got lost in a time warp, kid. It was gone in 2 bites.
Yeah.
Another model I really did like was the Back to the Future car.
Oh, yeah.
There was a couple of different Back to the Future cars, but I think I know which one you're talking about. It was a little bit bigger. I like that one a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Back to the Future though. It's my jam.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I think I've seen a little bit of it, but not much.
The internet
What's
is
wrong with
crying
your
right now.
parents? Yeah. What's wrong with your parents? I'm asking.
You're my mom's sister. You tell me you grew up with.
I'm your mom's sister.
I mean, you act like a girl, so not my fault.
Now that we've offended the other half of the internet.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to throw him out the window now.
I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
I have another suggestion for our viewers
Okay.
that I learned after the 4th trip. No shade on the Crown Plaza,
I'll
which
throw
is
shade at
the
the Crown
hotel that hosts it, but it is packed, jammed. And that's not so much a problem with the rooms and everything like that, because they're well cared for and they've done all kinds of remodeling. The problem is the parking. You just
There's nowhere
can't-
to park.
Yeah, you can't. We went out for lunch one day, and then when we came back, there's security that's sort of saying, okay, don't go, stop, go. And they told us to go, but we couldn't find a
No,
place.
there's once if you don't get here by Friday night, there is nowhere to park.
Right.
There's nowhere to. I don't think I can stress just that. If you think like I'm clever, I'll park here. No, someone's already thought of that. The issue is there's so many of the dealers stay at that hotel, and they all have trailers and things like that. There's a double parking area at the Crown Plaza. They shouldn't be letting cars park there. They should be parking those trailers in the double parked area, and that would free up a ton of spaces. But because they don't do that, it's just crazy.
There were so many parking spots that were just taken up because trailers would take up like 6 parking spots.
Yep.
Well, here's my hint. And it's right next door, Spring Hill Suites.
Well, there's 3 hotels.
Well,
right
there
next
is.
door.
There's the True, which is a Hilton brand, but we stayed in the one night. We stayed in the Spring Hills, and essentially you can walk from their parking lot right into the Wonderfest parking lot. We had no difficulties at all.
No, there is
finding
ample
yes,
parking.
great rooms, great staff, and
Is it
actually
the
it's
Spring-
cheaper
Mhm.
than
And they
Crown
got continental
Plaza.
breakfast too.
Yeah, free breakfast.
Yeah, we're about to go do that.
Mhm.
So, little hint there, okay? You can do it and still, it's not a problem at all if you buy something large
No,
and you want to
it's-
carry it to, I do that. You're going to carry it to your room. Well, you can just as easily walk out of Wonderfest, walk across the parking lot,
'Cause-
and go into the other.
Well, the Crown Plaza is a giant hotel as it is, and people that have been to Winterfest know that it's like really you can get lost in there because some areas you can go can't access other areas of the hotel.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's just as easy to come here and walk right outside and go next door. Is no farther away.
Yeah.
Some elevators don't even access the part of the hotel you need to get to.
Yeah.
Even if
Yep.
it's like on that same floor, you can't get to that
Yeah.
part because it's just blocked off.
Yeah, it's a weird. I don't know why. They
So we're getting all kinds of nasty email from Crown Plaza now.
Well, they're the ones that make all the money.
I
Okay.
we just saying facts.
They can take a little bit of heat.
We have digested.
We only speak the truth.
Yes.
Until we don't.
I mean, you paid an extra ticket to them.
That's still Wonderfest.
Well, they're in cahoots.
Closing comments.
Closing comments. We didn't get to show off our stuff either, but that's okay. I'll take
Yeah,
pictures of that.
I got my t-shirt.
You got a t-shirt? What kind of t-shirt did you get?
It's if you've ever played Resident Evil 2 or 3, it's like the Stars logo,
Mhm.
Raccoon City, LSPD.
Yeah. I got a bunch of t-shirts that I'm going to show off in another TikTok video. I'm wearing one of them right now. It's Jaws. Yeah.
I've been looking for the Mobius Seaview submarine, and I'm going to build it. I'm going to do lights in that. So I bought that.
Oh, he's going to go the whole 9.
Yeah,
We'll have to show that off when you get it done.
maybe not.
Why not?
I'm good.
I think it's
but
going to be good.
Okay.
I think your Frankenstein was better than the Frankenstein that wanted to get photographed yesterday.
Aw,
Just saying.
shucks. Yeah.
Just
I,
saying.
I think that Dracula model, I think, was in the dealer room.
Which one? Oh, the big one
Yeah,
Mhm.
the big one that looked really realistic.
with the bloody eyes.
Yeah, I think
That
so.
was in the the
Or
dealer's room. Yeah,
Black Horse.
Blackheart
Blackheart.
models.
Yeah,
That's
I
one of my
I
favorites.
think that one should have been entered into the competition.
Well, I think that's one that he did, and he uses it as like a display so he can sell
Yeah.
those.
You can buy that model.
Yeah,
can.
I'm just surprised it's not in the competition.
It was so good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have won.
There's
Or-
so
or at
many.
least gotten really close.
There's so many like winners in there, though. There's just tons of them. Yeah. But
They had a
anyway,
lot of stuff from like different movies and stuff. Supernatural is the only one I understood, other than, and then the Harry Potter one.
yes.
There's the Lord of the Rings doorstops.
No, that was the Hodor doorstop.
Ah.
There was Lord of the Rings stuff there though.
Well, check out our other videos or give it a walkthrough of the dealer's room, walkthrough of the competition room. You've got some special stuff on TikTok, Dr. Paul. Your top 5 most surprising things
To
and-
come. Yes.
Yes. So all of our content, and we're gonna see you next year at Wonderfest.
At the well, I guess yeah.
That's
Wonderfest.
true too.
At the movies.
Yes.
Kill me